Welcome to the Club of Combat. Today I'm breaking down my top 5 fights for 173. It's my first video on the channel, so hopefully it's kind of watchable. So yeah, bear with me a bit. This video probably should have came out soon after 173. Obviously, that's how content works. But to be fair to myself, I was at Cage Warriors, which I'll be doing a video for, which will also be a late video. But I'm just trying to create a bit of content and push it out all at the same time. And hopefully that will make some sort of sense. Yeah, so it's just trying to figure it all out. I guess the only thing I've put effort into in this video is this one championship hat, which is not even a real one championship hat, but who cares?
It's the one and only Digo Double G.
Cool, let's get into it. So these are the fights that stood out to me for the technique, pacing, overall impact on the card. So if you've been following the lead up to the event, there were some major disappointments. Obviously, Jonathan Haggerty couldn't fight due to injury. So for like a UK Muay Thai fan, that was a bit rubbish. The fight I really want to see was Noah and Rodtang. Didn't happen. Rodtang felt ill after making weight or before. I don't know, very confusing. Someone clarify if anyone watches this. Let me know in the comments. For those who don't know, Noah is my favourite fighter. I had the pleasure of meeting him and briefly training with him, with the man himself. See, I've got the receipts. Anyway, let's get into it. So, Superbon versus Nori. Unification fight for the featherweight kickboxing title. Both fighters delivered at championship level. You know, Superbon's time and control, shot precision. You know, it's what you get with Superbon, you know. Don't get me wrong, Nori, great pressure. It was a competitive fight, back and forth, but, you know, Superbon's like a superhero, man. Like, everything he does is so clean, so sharp. It kind of went how I expected, you know, getting the unanimous decision. So, yeah, not much to say about that one. It was exciting, but it kind of went how it went. Number 2, Takeru versus Dennis Puric. Takeru came into this fight, I guess, with intensity, and I guess he had to make a statement. He controlled the pace early, really sharp, and then he secured that TKO in the round 2. Puric, really tough fighter, but I think it's just Tareku's speed and accuracy is just different level. I did think Puric might have a chance just because Tareku's had a rocky start with one, losing to Rodtang Superlek. He had a lot of pressure on him coming from K1, like they really hyped him up. So yeah, I'm excited to see his fight with Rodtang. And for Puric, you know, 3rd loss in a row now, so we'll have to see what happens, I'm not sure. In at number 3, Yoza versus Superlek. This one was a really good fight. It was that proper K1 pressure fighting. Superlek stood out, position timing, but Yoza was just smart, really smart movement, really selective and great timing with his strikes. But you know, both guys had their moments. It was a strong clash, you know, clean technical kickboxing. And what I love about these sort of cards when one goes to Japan, it's like Japan versus Thailand. Like you get to see kind of that K1 Japanese style versus more traditional Thai styles. And you kind of see how like, a lot of these Thai fighters have to turn up the pace to get used to that aggressive, you know, forward fighting K1 style. So that, yeah, it was a great fight. And yeah, so, you know, Superlek lost, which, you know, I mean, he's obviously going to lose sometimes, but I just thought that one, maybe because I'm more familiar with Superlek, I just thought he'd win that one. But yeah, great fight. So in at number 4, Nabil, Ane, and Wajima. I'm terrible at these names, man. Apologies. Ane, solid impression on his kickboxing debut, or was it the weight class debut? I don't know, but it was a debut of some kind. Obviously, amazing fighter, and with his height and reach, his measured approach is always going to earn him the win. But what I did like is Wajima, in that first round, I was kind of switching. I was like, oh no, he's running away. He's just going to get hit with the reach. But you know, he really did turn it up in the 2nd and 3rd round, and it was actually quite an entertaining fight. Yeah, I think that's my number. That was kind of like my number 4. But fair play to Wajima. He didn't get knocked out, stood his ground, and you know, Nabil was such a tricky fighter, you know, with that reach and that height. But hopefully, we get the fight that we want to see. Haggerty, you know, he called him out, so hopefully we see that when Haggerty's back in shape. Well enough. In at number 5, and I probably should have done this. Like numbered this in reverse. Anyway, teething problems. This is basically my favourite fight that was on the card. In at number 5, but maybe should be 1. Anyway, Kana versus Stamp. You know, Stant's been away for, I don't know how long, returning after more than 2 years or something, because of lots of injuries and stuff. And Stant's more than a fighter at one. You know, she's literally a brand, one of like the main face of the promotion. Kana, you know, an ex-K1 champion, really pushed the pace, and it was amazing to see the exchanges. And I think consistent game plan to like secure that decision win. I think Stamp showed good heart, good moments throughout, especially considering being out of action for so long. But I think no amount of training or sparring can really replicate a real fight. And I think the pace like got to her a bit, and you could see that in between rounds, and you know, it was just hard. You know, Kana bring that K1 style, proper back and forth, high energy. It's one of those fights that you were glued to exchange, waiting for one to slip up and get knocked out. But meaningful matchup, important step in Stant's return, and obviously it might not be the comeback story that she would would want. Solid performance, and I'm sure she'll get the win very soon. So those were my top fights for 1173. I'm keen to hear your thoughts. What do you agree with? Do you agree with my picks? Did I miss out any standout bouts? Engage in the comments, share your opinions. We're building a community. I'm trying to learn more. These videos will get better, I promise. If you enjoyed the video, remember, like, subscribe, join the community. Join the club, live the fight. Osssss.